Number 6, there's no perfect approach. Stop stressing over the perfect approach. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on how to open or initiate an interaction, but for now, just know that you don't have to come up with this optimal, super silky smooth approach. Okay, you don't have to be James Bond. Not to mention that what you say is actually of very little importance. As a default, you can always tell her that you thought she was attractive and you wanted to come up and meet her. And if you want to get clever, you can tell her, "Hey girl, I was drawn to you like a shark to blood." So, what's your name? Number 7, the social risk decreases as the level of anonymity increases. In the last video, I explained that you will always feel like your immediate environment is the tribe. But what you must recognize is that in environments where there is a high level of anonymity, for example, in a bar, club, or a street of a big city, the social consequences are very minimal. There pretty much aren't any, unless you do something illegal. But you can go and talk to a girl and nothing really will happen. But if this is a place that you frequent, like the classroom, your gym, or workplace, then you may want to be a bit more careful with how you approach this. Okay? Look, if you have a pretty good grasp of what you're doing, there's no reason why you can't hit on a girl at your gym or, at your company. But if you're still testing things out and building up your reference experiences, then this environment may not be the most suitable. Look, at the end of the day, you don't want to compromise the real reason for why you're there. Whether it's to make a living or to work out, by potentially coming off as socially awkward or creating a tense, unpleasant environment for yourself. You don't want your boss calling you into the office and telling you that several women have complained that you tried to make out with them or made them feel uncomfortable, or grope them. I mean, what are you going to tell them? "Well, sir, you see, my physical escalation is still a bit uncalibrated. I'm still working on it. I'm just still doing my approaches." Number 8, take action and let your anxiety ease naturally. If you're having anxiety, don't stress over it. That'll just make you more anxious. The only thing you can do is take action, regardless of how you're feeling, and it will get progressively easier. So, say you've allocated 2 hours to go out. Okay, accept the fact that the first few approaches will be a bit more painful and off, but that as you keep going, it will get easier. Also, don't blame your situational state of mind. Okay, a lot of guys will do that. They'll complain that, "Oh, I just feel so tired," or "I'm just so stressed," or "I'm out of it." Okay, enough. Look, I know it makes things harder if you're not feeling the best, and it happens to me as well, but the only thing you can do is take action regardless. And what happens is, as you do this, the adrenaline from taking action starts to offset your less than optimal mood or state, okay? It's not like if you're feeling shitty and you can just walk around and do nothing and suddenly you'll feel great, okay? If you made a commitment to go out and do this, then regardless of how you feel, you fucking do it. Number 9, build social momentum. Just like with anything else, momentum is very important when it comes to pickup and social interactions. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, essentially, as you take more and more action, you will inevitably start to feel more confident, less stifled, in the zone, on point, and ultimately less anxious. If you're the kind of person that sits in front of a monitor all day, that's very analytical, whose job doesn't really have much of a social element, then it's going to be hard to just go out there after 10, 12 hours in front of the monitor, maybe for days, and just suddenly be really social and smooth with women. So what you want to do is you want to build up a little bit of social momentum to ease that anxiety. How do you do that? Well, regardless of where you're going out, whether it's during the day or at night, I want you to start talking to people that you immediately see in your environment or on the way there. Okay, talk to the security guy in your building. Talk to your hairdresser. If you're getting gas, talk to the clerk. Talk to the old lady on the bus. Talk to the bouncer. talk to the coat check girl, talk to that dude who's just skateboarding on the street, okay? Just get into a good social mood, and then it'll just get a lot easier to talk to girls. Also, if you're not very experienced, make it a habit to start talking to people and building that momentum right away. Otherwise, you're gonna keep delaying it. It's gonna get progressively more and more stressful, more daunting, to the point where you're gonna get paralyzed, okay? And you won't be able to do anything, okay? So don't let it snowball in your head. Just take action right away, make it a habit. Also, you can always loosen up by initially talking to the girls you're not very attracted to, and then move on to the ones you are attracted to. And this is especially important if you're in a night game environment where the first part of the night you should just be getting social, talking to guys, girls, ones you're not attracted to, just building up that social fun state. Also, allocate specific times to do this. Look, when you're at an advanced level and you have a lot of abundance, you can just go out and pick girls up on a very casual basis. Maybe if you're out running errands, you're on your way to work, whatever. This is just something you might do on a day-to-day basis when the mood strikes you. However, when you're starting out and still building up that experience, you want to dedicate specific times during the week when you can exclusively focus on this and allow yourself some time to build up that momentum. Look, if you're coming back from work and your mind is just clouded with all these worries and projects you need to work on, you may not only find it very difficult to shift gears and suddenly be in this social, positive mood to talk to a girl, but you won't even allow yourself the time that is necessary to build up that social momentum and get into this flow state, where you can truly be good, where you can truly improve, where you're really going to push those boundaries, those barriers in your mind. Okay, so allocate times to do this. Number 10, keep the saw sharp. This is one of the 7 habits of highly effective people that Stephen Covey talks about in his book, which I highly recommend, by the way. And it essentially means that we have to consciously continue working on ourselves in order to maintain a certain level of skill set. Now, what I want you to realize is that if you don't do something for a while, you may experience a little bit of bumpiness when you get back into it. And that's fine. Okay, so say you go out 3 days in a row, like for example for a boot camp. On the 3rd day, your approach anxiety will be a lot milder. And then say you don't have any social interactions or talk to any women for a month. Well, when you get back into it, your approach anxiety is going to be very acute. And that's just because your last reference experiences aren't fresh in your head. So that just means that the first few approaches are going to take a little bit more initiative, more emotional discomfort, but you'll get through them just like with any other time. This happens to everyone, okay, including me, and not just in pickup, but in any field. Okay, so say you're a poker player and you haven't played a tournament in a while, or that you conduct marketing seminars, you're a marketing expert. Well, that first one you do when you get back into it is gonna be a little bit rough. It's almost like you're having to go through the motions again for the first time. There's gonna be a little bit of discomfort, but you get through it, okay? This is normal, accept it, and don't let it get to you. All right, guys, so that concludes the 10 points that I wanted to share with you when it comes to dealing with approach anxiety. I want you to keep them in mind. I want you to review them as you go out more and more. And you'll see that as you get better, it'll just start to get a lot more manageable. And you won't even think about it anymore, to be honest. It's like, again, like jumping in that pool. Okay, whatever, it's a little bit cold. And boom, you get right into it. And trust me, it's worth it. This discomfort you're initially feeling, will go away, and it's worth the rewards. Thanks again, and until next time.